Okay, hi guys. So we have with us JB Jean-Baptiste from M&P as well as Fanette, also from M&P. So JB, can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah, hi guys, my name is JB. So as mentioned, I'm one of the instructor at M&P. Do sometimes a little bit of salon work, but been an educator now for the last 15 years. Started M&P in 2011 and rocking. Absolutely thrilled to carry on this amazing brand.
Awesome. And Fanette, please share with us a bit more about yourself.
Hello everyone, so Fanette, I've been working with M&P alongside JB for nearly 2 years now. So I do cut and color, and I also work in the salon. So I travel and I also do salon work.
And what brought you guys to Singapore?
Singapore is step number 5 of an amazing trip we have done with Goldwell. So we started working on an amazing seminar in Hong Kong over a month ago. Then we went to Taiwan, then we had Vietnam, and we just arrived from China. And it was amazing, wasn't it? Like beautiful work, absolutely amazing.
Oh my god, sounds like crazy lots of traveling. And how is Asia treating both of you?
Fanette.
Very good, amazing hospitality.
Awesome. Okay, so JB, I do have a question for you. So, quoting you, so with great powers or knowledge comes great responsibilities.
Yes.
Are you a Spider-Man fan?
But that comes from Spider-Man, yes. But it was because not long ago, it's been a lot of things that I've heard through interviews and social medias, and then it was almost like people were kind of talking about themselves by being a good breed of educator and despising some others. And for me, it's just, I feel that like if you know someone, you have the power and the responsibility to give it away to other people. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good or you're not good person, or not good or good or not so good educator, because at the end of the day it's all about taste. So sometimes you can be someone's taste, sometimes you're not someone's taste, right? So I think for me this is why I use that, because I think it's very important also when we deliver the education and the information, it's delivered in a nice way. So actually the person, when they finish the course with you, they feel energized, they feel they want to go back to the salon and have a great time, they feel they want to go back to do again education with you or other people, and not the opposite, which finishing the course and feeling really down because they're not as good as the educator. So this is something that I actually totally despise. I'm more from the other side, which is more about sharing, caring, and have a really good bond with the student.
Lovely. And so the next question is for Fanette. So what is it about M&P that makes you want to be part of this amazing family?
Oh, nice question. I guess, when I moved to London, 8 years ago, I really wanted to be into precision cutting. So I've started my journey for international company that both JB and myself worked. But we're not from same generation, so somehow we missed kind of like each other. So I didn't get the time to. I've always knew his work.
I'm much younger than her.
I see.
I didn't, if you like, get the time didn't have a chance to work with JB or to be with these, creative people that you guys were surrounded before. That was from an outsider point of view when you want to join the precision cutting industry. Was like, oh my god, one of the the top people, the very, very good at cutter. And then I carried on my journey, and JB and me are from the same area of France, but again we never got to meet each other, or never really, and then through social media and stuff like this you do follow each other. It's a very small community, and when I heard that JB wanted to open a salon academy in London, I just approached him, I guess a little bit more. I didn't harass him, but I think I approached him a little bit more casually, and I started to stick a little bit more up. And then I decided to embark. But I've always loved the work, basically, which is what attracted me the most.
Right.
So, yeah.
Amazing. So for your work with Goldwell, what is it about this brand that makes M&P feel like it's a good brand to partnership with?
That's a very good question. I mean, to be honest, we've been quite fortunate through the years that we've worked with every single brand, right? So we had now we're on 63 countries across the world where we deliver education, where we travel on a yearly basis. And at the time we had some country working with private clients, some country was one brand, some country was another brand, and so on and so on. But it's very interesting that we're here in Singapore because Goldwell Singapore was the first Goldwell country that approached us to do education. And that was about 5 years ago now, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to let Fanette talk more about the color side because she's as good as coloring and cutting. For me, I don't color as much. So for me, what I really always loved about Goldwell is the fact that Goldwell product leaves the hair with a very good quality. And at the end, it's not about the sake of just doing this color or just doing that styling, and then regardless of how the hair looks like at the end. For me, it's like you look at the hair and it shines, it sparkles, it's full of life. So that's the first part. And the second part is a few of my people that I've met for many, many years ago joined the team, whether it was HQ at Goldwell in the headquarters in Germany or some in the UK. And everyone's really nice and they really make you feel welcome and part of a family, so which is I think, it's very difficult in a corporate world to have this kind of feeling. And I think for us, we had that with Goldwell. So that's how we jumped in.
Right. So before Fanette take over, so what is a one Goldwell product that you can't live without?
Can't live without?
Yes.
I'd say spray number 5 if you talk about Goldwell. Otherwise, I'd go on the other side and I can talk to you a lot more about KMS because when we do doll head education, there's a lot of KMS products that are very suited for doll head or even working a little bit more like editorial work. So, I would say on Goldwell side, spray number 5, and I would say on the other side, KMS, it's the temp freeze.
Beautiful, thank you.
No problem.
So Fanette, can you share with us your experience with Goldwell so far?
Okay, so first of all, when I still was in France, I think I was just had my very first diploma. I used to work for a little lady that was working on her own and she was using Goldwell. So that was my very first approach to Goldwell. Now, I don't know how my brain works, but I found it more easily for me to understand color and colorimetry if there is a letter system.
Right.
Okay, so for me, 8G or to me to kind of like make it works in my mind is more straightforward for me. It works better. So that's the first thing. So for me, easier, from the start. And after when we started to use Goldwell in the salon, you kind of can't go wrong with your color. Like there isn't any problem when you do a consultation about how to neutralize or how to cover or how to it's really, really easy. And what I also really liked is the fact that you can work with a top sheet onto the roots, and after you can use the colorants onto the end, and you can create one even color. Now, I haven't really seen this into other brands. You always have a little bit of a difference between the two when you try to synchronize. Now, that doesn't happen with Goldwell. So to me, when you do salon work and when you have clients, I know that they will appreciate the fact that they have some reduced ammonia color onto the ends. To me, that's a big value point when you use a color. And also, it's something that JB mentioned, the quality and the care that Goldwell color or Goldwell products, backwashes, shampoo, treatment, conditioner, leave to the hair is pretty amazing. So,
amazing.
Yeah, for me, it works 100%.
Right. So in terms of styling, what is your one product, KMS or Goldwell, that you can't live without?
Wow, I'm a big Kerasilk fan. I absolutely love Kerasilk. Now, when it comes to Goldwell, I really love the Shine Spray. That's my favorite one. I use on every single one of my clients. I sell it also quite well. I love the smell, and I will choose to use this over a fixing hairspray.
Right.
So I will choose Brilliant Spray over, which is called Diamond Gloss. I will use Diamond Gloss overspray number 5 if you ask me to choose. So that's very, very personal. And after, when it comes to KMS, I really like term shape.
M-shape.
Term shape, yeah. I think, it makes the blow dry definitely faster because it expels the water out of the hair. So for what we do is amazing. For salon work is amazing, and also the when you use hot hair dryer and hot iron, the hair gets really, really protected.
Right. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Also, Fanette mentioned about Kerasil. She's also part of the UK teaching team, isn't it, of Kerasil?
Yeah, I've just enrolled to a Kerasil experts program that have been launched by 2 people, Graham and India, which have been looking after us a lot in terms of discovering the range and taking us through the whole range, as color, as business point of view, everything. So we a few of us, Salon in the UK, that actually have enrolled this, and it's great to share some moment with people and to get to know more about Kerasil because it's a fantastic range.
Amazing.
I think for us what's very important is that if you look at what happens with a lot of educational group when they get hired by a product company to do education, they still deliver an education in a product, let's say an academy or in a product range salon or something. For us, we wanted a fusion. So basically it's like the Goldwell, the whole countries have been sent some leaflets and information about what M&P does, so they're aware of what we do. But then also every single one of us is expert of the Goldwell, KMS and Kerasil product, sorry. And this is very, very important because for it to be a fusion rather than just working alongside together, this is very important. That's why you see all our lectures that we deliver, lots of PowerPoint that we're doing while we're cutting hair, there is the product that are involved within the actual PowerPoints.
Right, beautiful. Yeah, you definitely touched the right note there because as a hairdresser myself, I remember going to seminars. I'm like, why is this hairdresser behaving like a salesman of whatever products, really? Yeah. So I'd like to also cover a little bit about M&P, of course. You guys are definitely no stranger to Asia. And do you need to tweak your training a little bit just so because of the difference between Asian hair texture and Westerner hair texture, or whatever you teach in M&P works for every texture?
That's a very good question. No, actually what we do is universal. So we teach the 3 fundamental shape, the 3 fundamental technique, and then understanding how to apply it to an individual. So we don't teach a haircut to say, this is the latest haircut I'm going to show you. It's done one way, it has one elevation. You start this way, you blow dry that way, and it's done. And then you try to reproduce it to your client. No, I think what we believe is that the system is very archaic. Today we have to empower the hairdresser of all the knowledge needed so he can create tailor-made look for each individual. So the course that we teach in Poland will be the same as we teach in the US, the same as we teach in China, the same as we're going to teach in Indonesia, the same as we are teaching here. In that way, I think it's more universalized, and I think it's much more impactful in the hairdresser's mind, isn't it?
So really focusing on the foundation of your training.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, beautiful. So, I'm going to let you guys go now. I know you have a very crazy busy schedule in Singapore. So, one last question. What's your favorite food in Singapore?
Last night. Do you like the crab?
Oh yeah. The crab. I think it's called chili crab.
The chili crab,
yes,
of course. And JB, we understand you are vegan?
Well, I've been vegan for 2.5 years, but I've just decided just before the tour to eat a little bit of fish.
Massively plant-based.
Yeah.
You are.
Huh?
Massively plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based.
100%.
But it's like I had to eat a bit of fish here because otherwise, in lots of countries, they don't understand plant-based or vegan, or it's like very new. So you end up just eating boiled rice. So my stomach is expanding and my energy level is going too low. So I just said to Fanette, I'm going to get a bit of fish.
Right.
So yes, I did very much enjoyed the crowd last night.
Okay. Thanks for the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure all the audience enjoy your training very, very much.
They're very, very lovely audience, I must say. We have a lot of very good time, isn't it, the last 2 days. We've got 1.5 more day to go. We're going to take them through a very nice Salon contemporary haircut this afternoon, which is very important because those 3-day course that we've done, the foundation, the contemporary, and then tomorrow the collection, I think always today is one of the most exciting one, because when they've seen the demo or when they're going to see the workshop, they want to go back to the salon to kind of get into their clients. So it's a very, very exciting time.
Amazing. Do we have time for one more question?
Yes, please.
How do you find the audience, like, you know, the hairstylists and people that you're training? How do you find us?
I think I got this answer yesterday. I think in your culture, guys, there is a huge respect when it comes to the person that can teach you something or that can enlighten you. So might come across as a very flat audience, very timid or very retracted, but I think this is just because there is a huge amount of respect. So I think when we did the workshop yesterday, I think when it comes to coming closer to an individual, then you see it's completely normal.
Yeah. It breaks
That
the
makes
ice.
sense.
Right.
This is how I felt.
Okay. So it's the teacher and disciple kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, what we've been doing is that we used to, back in the day, look very, very formal in the way that we dress. You know, very formal, tight, very, very formal suits, tight, you know, the whole thing. And the education system was a bit more, it's the same, but it was delivered in a more rigid way as well. So I think what happened is that you get even more of a distance with the student, and it feels that they even though they respect your work and everything, they don't really, and you can't see they enjoy themselves 100% because there is this form of restriction. So I think what we like to do is, as soon as we start doing the introduction, just a couple of little jokes to kind of break the ice. They're seeing us now, we're looking more kind of like
Casual.
more street fashion, you know, even though we like our clothes, Fanette and I, but or even all the rest of the team, but it's just something that straight away they relate to. And Fanette's right, is like, this is an Asian culture where I think, you know, you've got this feel of respect, but I think as soon as there's a couple of joke and then they feel they can, suddenly boom, it's got a much better, you know, softness in terms of how would you say?
Break the barrier.
Yes, well, yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy
You're
the rest
welcome.
of your trip in
Thanks,
Singapore.
guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.